All morning long, we are following breaking news out of Southern California where 12 people were killed in a bar shooting last night.
This happened in Thousand Oaks, California, which is about 40 miles west of Los Angeles. Let's go to the ABC News special report going on right now.
In the attic when this happened.
And Kenny, you were there for Las Vegas Massacre a year and a month ago, and you're here, yes, again, and it's got to be quite an emotional scene and reminiscent of a horrible situation in this country.
Well, and you know, Candace, as we've been talking throughout the night here, this is a country music bar. And so there are actually a lot of people that I have spoken with tonight who were in Las Vegas themselves. They were at that concert. They were there to see Jason Aldean. They love country music. And now they either have friends, they have coworkers, they know somebody that was in this bar tonight, many of them experiencing this kind of incredible gun violence in our country twice in their lifetime.
And we're now seeing some of those images of a prayer circle there at the scene, and these people who were there, many of them were so young. This is an 18 and older club. As you mentioned, this was college country night. This is near a college campus. And we know that investigators have been talking to those witnesses since this happened. Are you still seeing some of those questionings happening, or what is the scene like right now?
You know what I'm seeing that's even worse, it's even scarier, is we're seeing parents arriving, and they're getting out of their cars and they're panicked. And that's what we're seeing right now, and that is hard to see, and that is scary for everybody here. Most of the people have cleared out, the ones that survived this, and so we're seeing some very, very panicked, what looks to be parents showing up at this hour.
Absolute just nightmare
It's
of
gotta
a situation.
It's just a horrendous situation for anybody, much more for a parent to get there to that situation. Kana being a new mom, I'm sure it's really difficult to see that situation. There were many people who were going to the hospital on their own. Kana, you spoke with some of the witnesses. Did they give a description of what this guy, this madman, looked like, or what he was doing?
Yeah. So those that saw him say that he's dressed in all black, a black hoodie, and that he had some kind of ski mask or something like that pulled up about halfway over his face. I spoke with a young woman who's from a military family. She's familiar with guns, and she said that this person knew what he was doing. He knew how to handle a weapon, and he had a good idea of what he was there to do. And that was really just to create this horrible tragedy, mass chaos. A lot of people, though, also, they didn't see the gunman. They heard the shots, and what they're telling me is that they just listened to what people told them to do. When they heard get down, they got down. When they heard run, they ran. And some of those other injuries you're talking about, Candace, people were injured by broken glass because some folks were actually throwing chairs through windows to try and escape out of the window. I spoke with another girl who was basically trampled as everyone was trying to escape. So there's still a lot to be learned here tonight. A lot of people did have to take themselves to the hospital. I'm sure we're going to be learning of injuries to come.
Yeah, one witness, or one guy that was inside, said he learned tonight that bar stools break windows because he used some bar stools to break some windows. And many people were saying that the gunfire was louder than the music. I think in some respect that might have helped them realize what was going on at that time.
But it's interesting because some of the witnesses, we've heard several of them say that at first they thought it was a joke, which is, it's just so hard, I'm sure, in the moment to wrap your head around what's actually happening. We've heard from people who were right by the door when the gunman came in. They knew immediately what was happening because they say he came in, shot a security guard right away, possibly threw some smoke bombs in, so that could have disoriented people who were there inside of the club, but then just started shooting at random, especially towards the dance floor where there was line dancing going on.
And Kana, based on some of the witnesses and some of the people that you're seeing, the survivors, you assume that I would assume.
All right, you are listening to live coverage of an ABC News special report right now after a sheriff's deputy was among one of those 12 victims killed in a nightclub shooting in Thousand Oaks, California.
Yeah, so we're learning more about that sheriff's deputy. Of course, we're thinking about all the victims in this case, but the sheriff's deputy was Sergeant Ron Helis. He was a 29-year veteran of the Ventura County Sheriff's Department. He was set to retire next year. And I guess he ran in when we found out that this shooting was taking place during a college country night,
Yeah.
so that there were people even under the age of 21 that are probably among the victims in this very, very tragic shooting.
So we will continue to follow this story. We have more information coming up here in the 6 o'clock hour of Good Morning Quad Cities in our next block here of our show. In the meantime, though, we do want to get back to our local news on this Thursday as the state of Iowa